Assalamualaikum, my name is Sharifah Nodiana, Abidin, and today I'll be presenting on selections interview. So before we get to even details on selection interview, let's get to know what selection is. So, selection is the process of choosing an individual with relevant qualification to fill existing or project job opening. So in selection process, there are 7 steps which I will be reviewing one by one after this. For the first one, which is submissions of resume. In this step, HR will be collect resume to ensure either the information obtained are reliable and valid or not. This is to ensure that the applicants that apply fit the positions. Moving to the next one, which is completions of applications. In completion of applications, there are 5 steps of screening method, which is the first one is cover letter and resume. Okay, for the first screening method, which is cover letter and resume, this cover letter and resume usually is used when the selection is for salary positions, especially on salary position. And moving to the next one, which is internet check and phone screening. Internet checks is be done by the HR googling the name of the applicants and also going through the network social media of the applicants, while phone screening is used by the HR for short interview in order to narrow down the applicants that to be interviewed face to face later. Video resume consists of short video highlighting the qualifications of the applicants. This also by doing this also HR can see how the communications of the applicants. Moving on to the next step of selection process, which is interview. There are 7 types of interview, which the first one is non-directive interview. Non-directive interview, the interview will allow or give freedom to the applicants to determine the course of discussions. Next is structured interview. In structured interview, the interview consists of a set of standardized questions and answer where the answer is already been established. For the third one is situational interview. In this situational interview, the interview required applicant to state how would he or she respond to the given hypothetical incident. Proceeding with the fourth type, which is behavior descriptions. The interview are also known as BDI. Through BDI, applicants will ask questions about what he or she actually did in a given situation. Next is panels and sequence interview. Panels interview is an interview in which a board of interviewer will question and observe a single candidate, while sequence interview will a format where a candidate is interviewed by multiple people, one right after another. The fourth step in selection process is reference and background check. In reference and background check, this is to determine whether the applicants have criminal history or not, or either to ensure applicants do what they claim they can do. This also by doing this, the company can ensure the safety of the company and also be able to choose the right person to fit the positions. The next step is pre-employment tests. There are several tests that the company can apply, which is these are the list that some of the tests that can be done, which is job knowledge test, work sample test, assessment center test, cognitive ability test, Virata test, physical stability test, polygram test, honest and integrity test. Next, let's move on to medicals exam and drug test. In medicals exam and drug test is very important because the company doesn't want to hire individual that have a medical problem or drug problem that will cause a problem to the company. The last step is hiring decision. After all the 6 steps were done, the final step is to choose who to fill the positions.
My name is Norain binti Sham. I will proceed to explain what is the job analysis interview. Job analysis interview is method to collect a variety of information from an employees by asking the employees to describe the tasks and duties performed. The objective of a job analysis interview is always ascertain and record the job related information of employment measures like training, selection, payment, and performance assessment. Secondly, job analysis interview is used for classifying both training and requirement evaluations, which is that is consists of the training method, evaluation exams to understand the usefulness of training, devices used for training, and also the technique of training.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nagarisha binti Razali. I will continue with advantages of the job analysis interview. First one is direct job related information is given. Job analysis provides direct and detailed information about the job and the right way to perform duties. The insightful information imparted is useful for the supervisors and managers as learning these they can decide the duties and requirements of the job properly, and according to that, to select the workers. The risks and difficulties associated with the work are also understood, and the expertise and knowledge required is also known through job analysis. Hence, the process of selection becomes much easier after job analysis. The second one is useful for constructing the proper job-employee combination. This is a vital activity in any organization, as only with the suitable workers can an organization become successful. So the workers suitable and custom-made for the job should be hired after examination of their skills, knowledge and other requirements by the manager or supervisor. Third one is useful for effectual hiring methods. The decisions of which candidate to select and whom to reject is confusing. Job evaluation makes this easy, as the requirements of each job is detailed properly and only the candidates who fulfill this criteria will be selected.
Aku ke atas mana tadi? Mana tak jumpa?
Tak. is monitoring of performance assessment and appraisal methods. Job analysis is useful in reviewing the performance of the workers by making the comparison of desired result with the actual result. By depending on these results, the examination and evaluation of the performance is done. Whether it has been efficient or not, job evaluation is an essential in deciding who are the responsible and the dedicated workers, and also award incentive and promotions to the dedicated employees to encourage them further. And number 5 is assist in analyzing the instruction and progress requirements. The practice of job analysis answers numerous difficulties and queries. The person giving the instructions and training, the time of training and instructing, the method of instruction and training, how should the training be given, and it is behavioral or technical, and the process of the conducting the training. All this information and decisions are taken by the job analysis. And the last one is, it is essential for determining the worthy compensation package for the particular job. Only with the help of job analysis can they come to an unbiased and undisputable decision of allowance and perks related to a specific job. The allowance and reimbursement are decided depending on the liabilities and the risk of the professions.
For the disadvantages of the job analysis interview, firstly, involves personal likings and bias. Is through job analysis is a very efficient method of understanding the job requirements when done properly. But most often the analysis is distorted by personal likes and dislikes. If a manager like one workers more than the others, his personal opinions will influence the job analysis, and it will not be a union analysis. Secondly, both the basis Secondly is both the basis of information and supply is small, which is the size and source of the data is mostly insignificant and small as the sample size is small. This makes the source of data small, and only the information collected from the few workers who may even be influenced by their own personal opinions is recorded and analyzed. Then this information of job analysis is portrayed as significant and consistent, but in reality this is not a case, as a sample of few workers is not enough to decide the norm and become a standard. Next, the disadvantages of the job analysis interview is need immense amounts of hard work and dedication. The methods of job analysis require immense dedication and hard work for the proper completion of the analysis. It's become all the more difficult and complex since all the different jobs has different demands and requirements in no single outline. So the same method of job analysis and the same question and evaluation system will not suffice for the different job. For example, tailor-made question are required for the different job for their proper job analysis. The analysis and the recording of information for different jobs should be done separately to get a correct result. Fourth, the reviewer and the job analyst may not be suitable. Often it occurs that the interviewer himself is not worthy of doing the analysis work with an unworthy interviewer. Tak payah lah, ni tak best. Okay, fourth, the reviewer or the job interviewer may not be suitable. Often it occurs that the analysis or interviewer himself is not worthy of doing the analysis work, which is in an unworthy of interviewer. A proper job analysis is impossible to do. He may be unaware of the goals and aims of the job on which the job evaluation is being done. Lastly, no one can analyze matter potential through job analysis method. The last drawback seen in job analysis is that the mental aptitude like intelligence, sentimentals, knowledge and wisdom, propensity, passion and stamina are never be seen as these are intangible characteristics of each individual. During the questioning in job analysis, the complete meta-analysis can never be done as people respond differently in diverse circumstances. Hence, one can never standardize the meta-ability requirements in any given job. The job analysis interview question is regarding to the 10 categories. Firstly, job purpose. Next is job duties, job criteria and results. Number 4, background and knowledge. Number 5, training. Next is abilities required. Number 7, working conditions. Number 8, authority. And number 9, responsibilities. And lastly, evaluation compensation.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shahira Akmal binti Nur Hashimi, and I will proceed to performance appraisal interview. Next, what is performance appraisal? The definition is, it deals with how the organization evaluate and measures their employees' achievement and behaviors. Next is performance appraisal interview is the first stage of the performance appraisal process, and this process involves the employee and the manager sitting face to face to discuss all aspects of all the employees' performance. Next, let's proceed to purpose of performance appraisal. There are two types, administrative and developmental. Administrative, it promotes employees, meet legal requirements, and it also validates selection criteria. For developmental, it provides performance feedback, it improves communication, and it also helps employees identify goals. Next, I will pass to Wan Nur Jamalina. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wanur Jomlina binti Wanjoni. I will proceed the type of appraisal interview. There are 3 types. First is tell and sell interview, based on assumption that employee have some inadequacy but they need to be convinced. Second is tell and listen interview. There are 2 parts of tell and listen interview. First is cover the strong and weak points of the employee's performance, and second part is used to explore the employee's feeling. The third type is problem solving interview. The aim for problem solving interview is not appraisal but development of an employee. For example is, can you plan to deal with emergency? And now we proceed to the conducting the appraisal interview. There are 7 types. The first is ask for a self-assessment. Start the employee thinking about their accomplishment. Self-appraisal also ensures that the employees know against what criteria they being evaluated, thus eliminating any potential surprises. The second one is invite participation. Most supervisors or managers encourage their employee to speak freely about what they want to say during the appraisal interview, which is they can give their opinion on that issue. The third is express appreciation. Employees are seeking positive feedback. It is good and beneficial to start the appraisal interview with appreciation for what the employee has done well. Number 4 is focus on solving problems. Solving problems require an analysis of the causes, but appraisal interview should be direct at formulate a solution. And number 5 is be supportive. By being supportive to their employees, it can help the employee to achieve a higher standard of performance and productivity. Number 6 is establish goals. Establish a specific plan on how the goal will be achieved. Highlight the plan on how the employees and organization will achieve the goals are achieved. Number 6 is establish goals. Establish a specific plan on how the goal will be achieved. Highlight the plan on how the employee and organization will excel if the goals are achieved. And number 7 is follow up day to day. The managers and employee frequently have informal talks to follow up on the issue raised in the appraisal interview. For example, offer employees informal feedback and coaching session on an ongoing basis. This put managers in more of a coaching role versus that of a judge. And the last is factor that affect an employee performance. There are 3 factors. The first one is ability. There are technical skill, interpersonal skill, and communication skill. And the second is motivation. Career ambitions, goal and expectation, and fairness perception. And the last one is environment, managerial support, role and policy, economic condition.
So we'll continue with comparison between selection interview, job analysis interview, and performance appraisal interview. So we'll continue with a careful job analysis interview. A careful study of each and every aspect of a particular job. 2 results of a job analysis. First one is job description. Second one is job specifications. Next one is performance appraisal interview. A process typically annually by a supervisor for a subordinate, designed to help employees understand their roles, objectives, expectations, and performance success. Next one is training aids in the achievement of performance. And the last one is a basis for assessing training needs and results.